Howdy folks, Dr. Will Wong here. Let's touch on a piece of research that landed on my desk 2 weeks ago that has started me thinking and dreaming and planning and doing all sorts of stuff around a particular autoimmune condition of MS. The research from the Stem Cell Journal, published on PubMed, is titled Metformin Restores Central Nervous System Remyelinization Capacity by Rejuvenating Aged Stem Cells. I'll repeat that title. Metformin restores CNS, central nervous system, remyelinization capacity by rejuvenating aged stem cells. Now, if any of you who are diabetic know that metformin is the premier anti-diabetic medication, anyone who's diagnosed as either a type 1 or a type 2, first thing they get is metformin. I have to say that I have caught a ton of poop from natural health folks because I like metformin. It's a dandy anti-aging medication that is wonderful for brain boosting and maintaining your mitochondria and a whole bunch of other things. If you go to Dr. Ward Dean and look up his work, he's got an article on metformin. Just type in Dr. Ward Dean metformin and you'll see in detail all the nifty things that metformin can do. But I catch crap because metformin is one of the most hated drugs by the natural health folks. They think that cinnamon and vanadium and chromium and berberine will do all the stuff that metformin does. And in type 1, yeah, those things do help. In type 2, they don't do squat. But they think metformin is so dangerous for kidneys, and yes, folks with really compromised kidneys and stage renal patients might not want to be on metformin, or if you're on metformin, you need to be monitored for renal function. But with most folks, metformin's perfectly great and has very little, if any, side effects. But now that I've gotten all the natural anti-diabetes folks pissed at me, let's go back to my original intent. Metformin has been found to help remyelinate nerves and brain, and that can be applied to MS patients. In MS, those folks lose their myelin sheaths. In other words, a nerve is a wire. Around that wire is an insulation, a coating of lipids, oils. MS patients have their own immune system creating cytokines which eat away at the insulation surrounding their nerves, which causes the neurologic dysfunction that we see. And the more insulation gets eaten away, I mean, imagine if all the wires in your house lost their insulation. Where would your electricity go? What would start happening to the appliances that depended on that electricity? What damage would the wires have without that insulation? How long would they last before they corroded away? So if you can understand all that in the electrical wiring sense, you can transfer a good bit of that to the central nervous system, to the brain and the nerves, and see what a caustic thing it is to have MS, how the loss of the insulation around the nerves deteriorates function and deteriorates the ability to not only perform the activities of daily living, eventually it'll kill you. So what the research found with metformin is that metformin, especially when combined with fasting, and you can pick any type of fasting you want. My preference is for the fasting programs of my friend Dr. Patricia Bragg. Metformin, when combined with fasting, helps really speedily regenerate myelin sheaths on nerves and the central nervous system in general. Okay, that's point number one. But you still have the MS condition that is causing the antibodies to be created, that is causing the attack on the myelin sheaths, that is deteriorating nerve function. So what do you do there? Well, what we do there is we include zymescence. Systemic enzymes are known for their immune modulating properties. If the immune system is down too low, it'll upshift it and help increase immunity. If the immune system is up too high, it will downshift it not only will it downshift it, but it will eat away the pro-inflammatory cytokines, the antibodies that the immune system is creating to attack its own tissue. So we throw in the metformin. We throw in the zymescence. Let's throw in one more thing. If the metformin is trying to help the nerves remyelinate, we have to give the body the wherewithal, the myelin, the oils, to help create the myelin sheath. Animal fats are really good for that. But even more concentrated than animal fats is the medium-chain triglyceride oil, the MCT oil. So you throw in the metformin, you throw in the zymescence, 1 or 2 capsules taken 3 times a day, and you throw in the MCT oil. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention about the systemic enzymes. Systemic enzymes have a proven track record in research going back to the 1970s of causing autoimmune conditions to have shorter and less acute phases and increasing the period of remission in between the acute phases. So in other words, taking a systemic enzyme for an autoimmune patient will mean they won't get the severe attacks of whatever it is they have. And when they do get them, it won't be as bad. When they do get the period of acuity, they can increase the dose, let's say with zymescence, 3 capsules 3 times a day. When they go back into a period of remission, they can back the dose off again to 1 or 2 capsules 3 times a day. So again, the enzymes decrease the severity and the length of the period of acuity and increase the period of remission. So using the metformin, using the zymescence, using the medium-chain triglyceride oil at a couple of tablespoons a day, throw it in your coffee, throw it over your food, put it on a sandwich, do whatever you want with it. Also throw in olive oil. Got to find an olive oil that's a real olive oil, though. And throw in all the good oils and some animal fats. Fast, however many times a week you want to. And that will go a long way towards helping to remyelinate nerves. Now, it's not a cure, but it is something that can decrease the amount of the severity of whatever it is you've got, or however bad your demyelinating condition is. And now, with the demyelinating condition showing up from the COVID vax, we really need something to help remyelinate nerves because, only so many people had MS, but now a ton of folks are getting the demyelinating conditions from the vax. So using this strategy, we can apply it to both of those situations and hopefully improve the quality of life and the ability to perform the activities of daily living in both sets of patients. Chat with you guys later. I'm Dr. Wong. Be well and God bless.